Click it again.
Yeah, tinfoil hat.
Yeah, man. That's what I am. I'm heavy and hot. I'm not hot and heavy. I'm heavy and hot.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the show. If you want to check us out on all of our social media platforms, check us out on Twitter at Tinfoil Hat Cast.
On Instagram at Tinfoil Hat Pod.
You can find us on Reddit. It's reddit.com/r/tinfoil hat show. Or allcomedyt-shirts.com.
If you have any suggestions for future guests or topics, go ahead and email us at tinfoilhatpod@gmail.com.
Tinfoil hat.
Reptile people everywhere.
Tinfoil hat.
Hey, man, we're spitting truth there, dog.
Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
Yeah, we're back in the studio after the Super Bowl. We're excited to be here. I think this is our last show in this studio. Is that correct, Aaron?
Yeah.
This is it. We've Punch Drunk has killed yet another podcasting studio, but we're happy to be here. We got a great show for you. A lot of great stuff's going on. Joining us in studio, she is literally one of the funniest human beings I've ever met. She's also one of my personal bouncers in my show when the crowd's getting a little angry, and the bouncer is sleeping in the green room while I'm up there.
Even a bouncer?
Yeah, it was the owner slash bartender slash bouncer.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the room. She bounces. She's a good friend of mine. She's been gigging. One of the hardest working people in Hollywood, Eleanor Kerrigan.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a great intro.
You have a great podcast, too.
Thank you. I love doing the Comedy Store podcast. Yeah, Rick Ingram's just ridiculous. We have so much fun.
Two monsters, man.
And we have all monsters on. You've been one of our little monsters.
Yeah, I've been on
steal
twice.
Lady Gaga?
What I love to do is anytime I do a podcast, I love that there's now legalese that's involved after that podcast.
Well, you did get us a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Certainly did.
Yeah.
You got to drop a full name. And then ever since then, everybody that's come on and spoke of those people have said the full name. And I'm like, great. Get us in more trouble. Perfect.
But I don't understand. I don't want to get into it.
No, we don't have to say names. I'm just saying,
it's just like you got named after an era. That's a kind of a cool thing.
That's a great thing. And if you're going to bring that kind of party, expect to be talked about.
I don't understand why it's a
That's it.
negative thing. I just like
men and women. If you do crazy shit, we're going to follow you. It's fun.
Yeah, there were two major girls of that era at the Comedy Store, and you're the one they named it after. They could have named it after the other girl.
That's amazing.
You're the one.
Yeah, you got picked. You're not the runner-up. You won it.
What I want to do
Get the crown.
is I want to put the names of all the chuckle fuckers up in the hallway to the sound booth in the main room, like a kind of a little respect, like the ones who came and made a difference.
Yeah, we miss you, or we need you
Well,
back.
it's like, why shouldn't their names be on the wall? They were a big part of the store, too.
That's true.
I just feel like there's no great ones left at the Comedy Store. They're
No.
all business chicks.
Now it's all business. Yeah, and I feel like those girls that used to do that were there to support the actual art.
Yeah.
And it's lost. It's a lost art form on both sides.
And guys would try to run them off because they were the one guy out of the 20 there that night that they wouldn't hook up with.
Yeah. And like when I was waitressing / being the manager running things, you know how Mitzi would just put a different hat on you every minute you came in. You're the manager.
Yeah.
No, I have a tray in my hand.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so I'd do it. And then I'd have these waitresses, I'd hire them, and then bigger comics would, let's just say, fondle them in the main room, fine. Whatever. Time to kill time.
Happens.
Trying to kill time.
It happens.
In between spots.
You
it's
put
what
men and
goes
women
on.
together, things get weird. Real quick, before we get into your podcast, I just want to say that I've heard your comments on the Jessimae Peluso show. I hear it, and I will recognize that. And I understand that the crowd we get here. Well, we talked a little bit about some of the naughty natures.
Oh, you're saying that to your fans?
Yes.
I thought you meant to me. I was I didn't say shit to Jessie May. I'll fight you right now.
No, she's the best. She's the best.
I love her.
Tell us about what the Comedy Store podcast is about.
Okay. Well, wait. Let me finish that other part. Was what I was saying when I would hire the waitresses and the comics would sleep with them.
Yeah.
Then I'd have to fire those waitresses because that's when I felt like the comics started getting soft and they couldn't handle These chuckle fuckers, if you will.
Yeah.
Because that's all they were just chuckle fuckers
And
trying to get up the
you know,
ladder.
it sounds like a mean word.
No, it's a
You know
great
what,
word.
You know what chuckle fucker is like? Mensch. You ever hear people say, "Oh, he's a real
He's
mensch"?
a mensch,
And
yeah.
you're like, "Oh, dude."
He's a giver.
that-
That's
that-
basically.
It sounds like a
I
mean
sleep
word.
with a lot of Jews. I know that's a good word.
It's a good,
Good
word,
word.
man.
Yes.
Mensch is a good word. It sounds like a mean word.
I agree. It's
Same thing
not.
with chuckle fuck. You're like, "Oh, I'm not a chuckle." You're like, "No, that's a celebration."
Celebrate, swallow, do it all, guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Comedy Store podcast is about all the shit that goes on at or has gone on at the Comedy Store, like crazy shit. We love when we have like people that work there, like we're more in the inner workings.
Yeah.
Like there's great comics that come and get passed and they just work. But then when you're like a door guy and you kind of go up the ranks, or even a waitress, whatever, you go up the ranks in there and you get to the inner workings, those podcasts always make the best podcast. Like
Now-
Argus Hamilton has the fucking greatest stories. Or if we have you on, you have these great stories. We had Punky Johnson on. She has some great ridiculous stories because she's behind the bar
she's
all
a
night.
killer.
She's a killer, and she's behind the bar all night, so she's seeing
She's a
all
killer.
the bullshit. I know.
You
I
can
love
see
her.
when people walk up on
I'm
stage
obsessed with her.
and they get it.
Yeah.
You know, she gets it. Like she lights people up.
Oh, yeah.
She lights people up. Are you the only? Is it you and Punky are the only ones that go from waitress / female bartender to?
I give it more
Regular
to
Comedy Store?
I'm going to be honest. I have to give that title to Punky because I was a waitress for years and I was Mitzi's assistant for a long time. Then I left and then came back a year later as a comic. Punky actually came there, was a comic, waiting tables first, slowly was like, hey, I'm a comic. Then they accepted her a little bit. Then she became a bartender. Then she became a ridiculous comic.
Yeah, I think when you're a
So I
comedian,
give her that title.
when you're a comic, you can tell when somebody's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when
hell
she
yeah.
got up, you're like, okay, she's got it.
Oh, her balls just swing out.
She's got
You're like,
big
Whoa,
balls for a
she
lesbian,
didn't
dude.
Fully transition
Big
yet.
balls.
Mhm.
You know. You are definitely somebody. It's a wonderful story. I don't know anybody who doesn't like you and doesn't root for you.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think you're completely underrated. I don't think you get nearly enough respect. I don't know. I'm in this freaking town where people are just like, oh, female comedy, female. And then I just see like people like you and Sarah Tiana and Christina Pajinski are like the three of the the murderers.
Yeah. And every one of us has the same story. After every show, they come up to you and they go, oh, my God. But, like, for a female, yeah, what, we talk? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
You kill.
But but you have a vagina? Like,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. I'll snap somebody's neck after
Now,
a show.
now this is a big show
Sorry.
because it's totally great.
I know, I have
Philly.
anger issues. I just got back from Philly.
Yeah,
Today.
That's where you're from, and you
I'm
got a
from
great
South Philly.
story too, because you're like one of 1,000 children,
Yes,
right?
there's
Your mom's
1,000 of us.
vagina was like a fucking t-shirt gun, right?
Absolutely. Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Except for it didn't go into the audience, went right into this little row home that we all
Yeah.
just fucking snuggled in for summer. My mom still lives in the same row home in South Philly.
What is a row home?
They're all connected. You've
Oh,
seen
it's
Rocky.
the old,
Don't get
like-
cocky.
That's one thing about Philadelphia is
great.
it's a wonderful city for history. Like you go there,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, they used to ride horses through here.
Yes, they still do. I saw a lot of horses
Last
when
night.
I was home. No, they left the horses in because they were punching the horses after the
That
championship.
pisses me off.
Well, they're so drunk they don't know what to do with themselves.
This is how much it almost made me root for New England after I heard that they were.
How dare you?
Well,
How
because-
dare you?
Dude,
And
I got
Sam,
picked. It's
you're
cheaters
sitting
versus
there
animal,
looking at me with a
crew.
Raiders hat on, and you could say that.
All day,
I
every
will
day.
shank you.
Dude, Raiders love animals. Pit bulls. Like they were talking about Michael Vick coming to our
believe
team.
you.
We're like,
That's amazing.
fuck that.
I was just freaking out about the tuck rule. If you want to bring up animals, go for it.
Well,
That's awesome.
we didn't take Michael Vick, unlike you guys.
Yeah, we
They were
did.
talking about coming to our team. We're like,
I was waiting for
uh-uh.
him to take Kaepernick.
Yeah, oh,
they
that
love
could
controversy.
that could happen next year. So you were back there for the big win.
Yeah, I was. I was excited. I watched the game. My mom's house. It's funny because I was saying, like, my brother Charlie's sitting there with a Raiders jersey on. My nephew had a full Broncos outfit on. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, he had a Broncos sweatshirt. As soon as the Eagles won, he went to his house. As soon as they won, he went to his house across the street and changed into an Eagles hat real fast and ran over. I was like, you little shit. He's like, I'm not fighting the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I wore my Rams socks and my Eagles hat. I was supportive. You know how I like to wear both.
Well, we were both. I asked you and David Deary to go to the Rams versus Eagle games because that was both of your teams.
Yes.
Right. And when Wentz went out, David Deary's like, "Up there goes the Super Bowl."
Yeah, there goes the season.
And you're lucky that the Lord Jesus loved your team more than the Patriots, because according to the Eagles, none of this is possible without Jesus.
Right. Every time you say that, I have to bow my head. I did 12 years at Catholic school. I'm sorry.
Which
I don't
is
know
great.
what happened.
This
I
is
apologize.
perfect for this.
So don't think I'm like I have Tourette's or something.
Right,
You're like,
right.
is she gonna start freaking out?
If you did, that could be your hook on Last Comic Standing. She's
Yeah.
a female comic with a vagina who's funny, and she's got Tourette's.
Let's go do America's Got Talent as like I'll be your puppet,
No,
and I'll just have
no.
Tourette's, and
That'd
you
be
say
great.
the worst things.
That'd be
Because
great.
girls can get away with saying more
100%.
than white guys.
100%.
Well, you're not white, but you know what I mean.
That- you
You're
keep
so
telling me that.
cute.
You keep telling me that. We're from the Caucasus Mountains, dog. That's
boy.
that's straight up Armenian whiteness.
Armenian.
So
Sexy.
this guy, he's a podcast junkie.
Avi.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
He's sitting there.
podcast junkie. He's got your mortal enemy on his shirt, the slut.
Yeah, I know it. I was just
King.
gonna send a picture of that to Bobby, but
You should. He knows.
he knows you love it.
Oh, yeah.
Is that for his podcast?
Yeah.
Tiger Belly.
Okay.
We made one of his brother called the Woke Prince. Yeah, because his brother's really in conspiracies and shit like that, right?
that's
Yeah, one of the
good.
best episodes of the Comedy Store podcast is when you and Bobby just buried that hatchet.
Oh man, that
That
was
was like-
crazy. 17 years.
Yeah,
we
you
didn't
buried that
talk.
in his skull, right? That's where you
I
buried the
wanted
hatchet.
to, but they won't let me because
Okay.
there's a legal.
Some
thing.
legalese.
Yeah.
Some legalese.
I take it like that's a shot my dad missed a while back when he was fighting in Korea. So now we have to deal with Bobby.
Just imagine that, dude. The
It's a
bullet
shit
missed,
shot,
and now
Dad.
we all have to
You're
live
a
with
shit
it.
shot.
But my favorite episode of the Comedy Store podcast is number 67 with Don Barris and Brian Holtzman.
I have to tell you kind of a tragic thing. What happened, we had a mix-up. I wanted Don Barris and Brian Holtzman to close out our new year, to the week before the new year. And we had a mishap with the SD card. And then I went to get it from somebody.
Yeah. Me.
Dana. And I went to get it, and I put it in my pocket, and I rode my bike home, and I lost it.
You
And
after Dana gave it to you?
I lost it.
So someone's out there with
So-
the missing Holtzman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And it
awesome.
was so funny, and Holtzman was on fire.
Isn't that always how it goes?
This is what my life, everything goes wrong. The
Yeah.
black cloud, you see
Yeah.
it? You can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
There's no one else out. It's raining right
Yeah,
now
yeah,
on me.
yeah.
Nobody else. It's pouring. And everybody, like, how does that happen? I was so excited I was so mad that wasn't up a week earlier.
I fucked up.
You
I
did it.
ruined your thing.
You did it. I'm going to say this. Somebody was supposed to download it immediately because this has happened before.
You know what it is? If you would have done coke
I wish. I'm going
or
to start.
stripper, you would have known where to put it, whether it's in your bra or your other magic
Yeah, I
place
think
that
you're
God
right.
gave you.
But I stayed and talked for a while, and I think that was it. I did the stupid girl thing. I tried to get the dog to like me
Oh.
because I think I scared the dog when I pulled
Pollyanna?
up. Yeah, when I pulled up, I pulled up on the bike, and I went to like, hey, and I didn't see the dog, and I went, yay, and the dog, rah, rah, rah.
No, that's what the dog does.
Of course, but I was like, wait. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this
yeah,
is it.
yeah, yeah.
So I spent too much time, and then I must have just put it in my pocket, and I
that
lost
sucks.
it. Holtzman was insane because his trigger words were content, and anything you say like that where he would go off on a tangent, and Barris couldn't get a word in edgewise. But see, those two,
Two mad geniuses, both
Yeah.
of those guys.
they came up in the like Holtzman was there every night. He was Mitzi's baby.
Oh yeah,
Barris wasn't even a regular when I started at the Comedy Store. That's how sad
that is crazy.
He was there for a long
And these kids
time.
don't get it. These young kids, they don't get like the magic that was the Comedy Store.
How hard Barris had to work to even become a regular. And then on that first podcast we did with Barris and Holtzman, we found out that Barris might not even be a regular yet. He never got past.
Really?
Because we talk about on the Comedy Store podcast, like, when did you showcase? What was your showcase like? Was it Mitzi? Was it Tommy? Was it Duncan? Like, well, mostly Tommy would pass you, not Duncan. But like, who got you your showcase kind
Yeah,
of thing?
mine was Duncan.
Yours was Duncan, right? But you did it for Mitzi
Right.
So if I remember
And
correctly,
Paul Mooney was the reason I'm a regular.
reason you're a regular. Okay, yeah. So you have all those like stories. Most people have like, well, Tommy or whatever. But
I bought weed for Tommy, made me a regular.
there you go. That's
Have you
a
had
big
hamburger
one.
on yet? Talking
Yeah.
about that. When
Why
hamburger.
does everybody
the-
go after hamburger?
Oh, because he has the best Yelp review of the Comedy Store ever.
Oh, yeah. He
Comic
got fired
bombed on
because of
stage
that.
and then tried to sell me weed after the set.
I don't remember his name, but he had braids.
yeah.
That's weird.
So let's get into real quick your background. You grew up in a Catholic.
Irish Catholic, very. In fact, my mom came to my show on Saturday night in Jersey, and I was pretty dirty. It was later. It was a later
You're
show.
great.
I know, but it was a later show. And when you throw those dirty bombs out there and it works, then you just go, hey, I can be me. And you just keep going. So it was like that. And my little sister even said, she goes, you made me gag a few times. Like, oh boy. Like, too far.
That blows my mind.
But it's just because it was just silliness that I've been talking about. Like, she hadn't heard that material before. So it just made. So I go, how mad is mommy at me? Because my mom was sitting there and I kept pointing her out and everyone kept looking at her.
My
So
mom loves that.
She does?
My mom loves it. I can't believe my mom comes to my shows. She invites all of her friends. She knows what I'm going to talk about.
Well, this was a joke she hadn't heard, and it's been a throwaway I've been using a little bit. I'm like, I keep my anal beads in, mine are rosary beads, so I'm holier than thou. And she lost her shit.
That is a great bit.
She's like, yeah, you better get rid of that. Stop using that one. So the next day, she woke me up for church. And she's just going to pour holy water on me. Like, you get up, let's go.
Just showering in the holy water.
Yes, just sitting in church, shivering. And you could see the steam because I was about to burst into flames.
Well,
Like, why am I there?
I think you're wonderful, and I would take my mother to your show anytime.
Well, she would probably laugh because I'm not her kid,
Yeah.
pointing her out.
Yeah,
Going,
yeah,
look at her. Look
yeah.
at her right there. 10 kids. So she's
So-
holding her uterus in her hand.
Well, it wasn't only supposed to be you were supposed to be on the show. Steve Simone was supposed to be on the show.
Yes.
And he chickened out.
Well,
He's like, if it's any devil stuff or anything like that, I want nothing to do with it. We're like, we can't say it's not. We want to do, because you're Catholic.
Yes.
We thought it'd be a
Ish.
lot of fun. Dude, this episode is going to blow people's skulls.
Yeah, I'm terrified of it.
Oh, you should be.
To an extent. I mean, Simone is worried he's going to burst into flames, and I get that because he's so fucking Catholic, too.
The
but
truth will set you free,
I'm
man.
with you on that, man. I'm with the truth. I'm out of it. I get mad that they get to say Jewish, because it's like, we dabble. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But Catholic, I can't. Catholic-ish,
Yeah.
it's solid.
Yeah.
You're in it. When
Yeah.
you're in it, you're in it. You
Yeah.
can't get out.
And it is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So today's episode is about Vatican secrets. So
Yeah.
this dude busted his hump on this episode. So and then at the end of the episode, we'll do our dates. Okay.
Okay.
So
For sure, yeah.
Not
So
worried.
this conspiracy, which crosses many paths, politics, governments, global religion, and the rise of the New World Order. The Vatican runs the world. It controls the British crown.
it is now there's a whole discussion about who actually runs the world, and a lot of people, when you see they do a pyramid of power, usually the person at the top is Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Because
It's sickening.
Well, because like, who is this chick? Why does when she show up,
Are-
everybody goes fucking nuts?
Are you not watching The Crown?
Oh, I can't. I just can't watch it.
No. You'll love it because all your answers are right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because one guy, she was talking to a prime minister, and they were talking about wanting to get a divorce, and she goes, well, the only person above me is God. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, shit. I had to
Yeah.
rewind it like 6 times. I'm like, that can't be. But they're saying that this is how they look
yeah.
at this fake
100%.
thing. I don't understand.
Supreme royalty.
Yeah.
Now, if that's
Supremacy.
true, the Vatican owns her.
So here it goes. The Treaty of 1213.
This is crazy.
It was a treaty between King John and the Pope. In this treaty, the British lands of Ireland and England were pledged to the Pope, and the only two people able to dissolve the treaty were these two gentlemen. And so it basically meant that the Pope and the Vatican, now the Catholic Church, owned everything that the British Empire owned at that time, and anything they would then discover, which is the United States.
so
so
there
this-
is okay. Go
Yeah,
on.
this leads many to
Satan,
believe.
AKA Satan.
Yep, the treaty still the Pope owns the world, and it still holds today.
There is an argument that there is a logical argument that treaty is still
I believe
intact, the Treaty of 1213, and that the Pope technically owns the United States of America.
How could he own the United States of America when we are all free to live in our own?
Freedom
to
is an
separate
illusion,
church and state.
So America
Walk naked down the street. Maybe Philadelphia last night, but not tonight.
Definitely last night. I wasn't because I don't want to make everybody go home early. I want them to have a good time.
You
But-
are wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm just saying, like, they worship this fake monarch, and for them to, like, say that I don't believe the Pope. You believe that the Pope owns the United States? Like, I'm nervous. Like, why do you think United States?
Okay, we're going to get into that
Okay, 'cause
because
I
it gets
just-
really interesting.
You threw
here,
me.
okay?
I just hit me like.
So yeah, America was a British colony.
Well,
Yes.
Okay, so they own everything that is Britain right now.
the
According to this
original
treaty,
13.
anything
1213.
that the British owns, the actual Vatican is the owner of.
and,
Yes.
and will discover. So it's
Yeah.
future discoveries. But the United States is a corporation, not a landmass, and it existed before the Revolutionary War. The British troops did not leave until 1796.
Which is like 20 years after the war, right?
Yeah.
Not the Civil War,
Revolution.
but
So
the
the,
Revolutionary
the
War.
Pope claims to own the entire planet through laws of conquest and discovery.
Now, what does conquest and discovery mean? Do you know what that means?
That's the whole concept of once you've conquered it, and if you discover it, it's yours.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
if I found gold, the government could come just grab my gold.
So it means that
Unless you conquer them and then you say it's
Then
mine.
you got to take out the Pope to keep that gold, or take out a government official to keep that gold.
The Pope is the scariest thing to me. I
Oh,
gotta be
dude,
honest.
and this is cool Pope. How about the guy
I
right before
yes,
him?
this guy is great. You're right.
How about Darnell Hines? What's his name?
Darnell Hines. Yes,
Yeah,
that's him.
Benedict. Pope Benedict. You ain't no omelet, motherfucker. Do you remember that joke?
Yes, yes.
You ain't no
We do
omelet,
him all the
motherfucker.
time. We do him all the time on the podcast. He's a great voice.
So the Pope is, the United States is technically it's just a corporation. It's not really, and the truth
It's not really a thing. Like
it's not
we're owned
really-
by everybody else.
Oh, dude, it gets even more interesting.
in the
so
same way that the
nauseous.
IRS is a private company owned by the Crown. This is actually a company called the Crown.
Do you know that you do not pay taxes to the U.S. government?
What are you talking about?
You don't pay taxes to the U.S. government. The
I
IRS,
have made a checkout
it's
today.
the IRS is not a U.S. government department. It is a foreign entity that is ran by the IMF and the WBO, and it's owned
It's a
by
lot
the
of
British,
initials that don't
the
make
World
sense to
Banking
me.
Organization,
Oh, okay.
and the International Monetary Fund. They own the IRS. When you pay taxes, that's why when they go taxation is
Without
thievery.
representation. Oh.
No, you're just yelling out shit.
I'm just in my head. I'm nervous because I'm like, wait, I'm scared. I'm about to pay my taxes.
Yeah.
So
well,
I don't
you're
want
not
to
paying
now.
it to the U.S. government. That's why when they say to you, taxation is robbery, because you're not paying it to the U.S. You're paying it to a foreign entity, which is the IMF, the WBO, which is owned by the British. It's the Britain, and it's actually the international banking organizations own that.
Yeah, so the company, it's a private
Located
company.
in the city of London.
Yeah, it's actually called the Crown, and it's the major shareholder of the United States Federal Reserve.
But
which is
our
also-
tax dollars go to stuff.
They pay us
There?
out stuff, but they don't. It's theirs.
But I'm saying like infrastructure, things like that within the United States.
They
like,
pay out that stuff. They cover that stuff, but they don't. Go on.
Bless you, Eleanor, for trying to argue with these people.
I'm just confused.
No,
I'm,
no, no.
I'm not saying I'm
hold
smart.
on,
I'm
Aaron.
just saying.
This is
it's
not-
just me, is all I'm saying.
Aaron,
Oh, okay.
Aaron, what have we said that is not factual at this point?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
You just
why
said-
are you saying
You just say
that?
the United States is a corporation. That's all you've said. You have not proven that. You have just said a thing.
But where did you get all these facts? I mean, I'm not to.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, I'm
can
just
you
curious, like-
Please Google, because this is a fact that the IRS is not a U.S. Department, a U.S. government department.
I'm not paying my taxes then.
No.
Here's the public law. Public Law
What's that number one,
94-564. The
homeboy?
IRS is not a U.S. government agency. It is an agency of the IMF.
International Monetary Fund.
Thanks, Dave.
The IMF is an agency of the UN.
Okay, Black Law Dictionary. Check that out.
Yep. So full on. You could type in. It's one of these like little known facts about America or little known facts about the IRS.
You pay taxes to the IMF, and the IMF in turns pays out bills for the U.S. government.
But let's keep on going
There
down
are no
this.
judicial. I was just reading. I lost it. Oh my God, that was crazy.
So yeah, but don't let this information alarm you, because without it, you cannot be free. You have to understand that all slavery and freedom originates in the mind.
Okay.
When your mind allows you to accept and understand that the United States, Great Britain, and the Vatican are corporations, which are nothing but fictional entities which have been placed in your mind, you will understand our slavery is because we believe in fictions.
Okay, so what I've
that's
said
from,
before is like why I fight with like libertarians when they get so mad at the U.S. government. I go, the government is just a paradigm of thoughts that we all agree upon, and those thoughts we follow. So the U.S. government isn't a thing. It's not this It's not your arm. It's not this table.
It's not an inanimate object.
Like All Things Comedy is not this building. It is it's a group of
Were you
ideas.
taken over by Jim Carrey? What's happening right now?
No, this is just facts.
Okay, but it sounds like you're living like Buddhas. Like the way you just said that. Like this isn't real.
No,
Nothing's
I never
real.
said it's not real.
Oh.
All
It's
things,
not tangible. I don't know.
It's
what
not
you're s-
tangible, right?
Okay.
Like All Things Comedy is not like this table. It's not like this wall. Like if All Things Comedy is leaving this building will no longer be All Things Comedy, right? The All Things Comedy will be over there. It's like government. Yes, it's in that building, but it's just
not. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes more sense.
It's just
the way it.
It's
okay.
a thought. It's a group of ideas that we all agree upon that we follow.
Sure.
And so when people get mad at the government, it's like it's not the government that you should be mad at, because the government can change at any point if we just agree upon a rule. The rule you should get mad at is people who enforce those rules. Those are the
Yes.
people that are the problem, whether they're the police with drug wars on, through like institutional racism of like creating drug laws which throw a disproportionate amount of black males into jail through.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's who it's who's enforcing these. The government is just an idea. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like a concept.
but it's an idea that keeps a country together. Like it's an idea that
It's
everybody.
an idea that we all agree upon. Like
So you're saying if we all just didn't agree upon it,
yeah,
and we all
There'd
just
be
stood
no
up and
US.
said, "Fuck you, we're not paying taxes," then what would happen? We're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're
that
gonna
would be called a revolution.
we're gonna Ayn Rand this and individualism.
Let's take
and run out.
borders, right? Let's take borders, okay? Borders are agreed upon idea. They're not an actual physical thing, meaning the border between us and Canada isn't anything. We just agree that our rules go to here, your rules pick up from here. Okay?
Right.
Mexico,
So
right?
Is that why Trump wants to put an actual thing there?
Yes.
Because he wants to make sure we're not them.
Right. Now, Mexico, right? Do you know why all the Mormons are in Utah?
No.
Because-
Nobody's looking in Utah to find
because
out
Utah
how many
used to
sister
be
wives.
Mexico until
Ah,
we came and
so is
annexed
California,
that.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we annexed it. So
Yeah.
now it's no longer part of this idea over here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a lot of ground to cover. Let's keep moving.
Yeah,
on.
please, let's keep moving.
This is great.
To educate me is not easy.
No, you're
I
doing great, but
apologize.
it's just
Okay.
like the notion you got to understand. These are laws in which we agree upon. Now you have to pay your taxes because this monetary fund people control the people who enforce the taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually pay the checks. So if you don't want to pay your IRS, you can go for it. But the people
They're
who are
gonna come-
paid
yeah.
by the IMF and all that are going to come and throw you in jail.
Yeah.
There you go. So there's 3 cities I wanted to
So
talk about.
cute.
All right, so check this out. These 3 cities all have 3 things in common. They all have an obelisk in them. So I've already talked about the Vatican. It has an Egyptian obelisk that's been taken there from Egypt. The city of London, which we also just talked about, is where everything goes back to financially in the world, has an obelisk. And the Washington Monument is also an obelisk. So these all 3 countries are the major 3 centers that control religion, banking, and politics.
Military.
Wow.
Military, UN,
So,
all that.
so
good
what
shit.
we're talking about here is there's 3 places on this planet that are technically part of no country. They are a country unto their own,
Yeah.
which is the
Those 3 places.
everybody knows the Vatican. It's not part of Italy.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody knows Washington Monument, which is technically the UN. Okay.
Yeah, D.C. isn't part of Maryland. It's District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
right.
I mean, technically that's in Washington D.C., but the one thing that is not part of any country is where the UN is. Okay, where the UN, it's located in New York, but it's not part of New York. It is its own. It follows no rules,
Oh, it doesn't follow any of the rules
no
of the
laws
state
of
of New York.
state
Okay.
or the United States. It pays no taxes to the United
So
States.
it's like a church?
No, it's just the UN, and that covers what? The military.
Okay.
Okay, so there's 3 places. Obviously, what the Vatican covers religion. Okay, and if what Ryan's saying is true, which is it runs the world, the City of London, what does that cover? That's where all the banks are located. That's where
Yeah.
all the head of all the banks are. It is not part of the City of London, or it's not part of London, and it's not part of England. It's not part of the UK. It is its own area that has its own laws, pays no taxes to anything around it, and it is not part of England.
So these 3 cities within them contains 80% of the world's wealth.
Wow.
So there's something that they all got in common, no doubt, which is power. So the next piece to this puzzle, we've just talked about the Treaty of 1213 and the idea how everything's tied together. That's what ties us in the U.S. all the way back to Vatican and Great Britain and whatnot. Next group of people we need to talk about so you can understand this bigger spread is the Jesuits. And these are the
Do you know what the
original.
Jesuits
Now we're
are?
getting in my neighborhood.
Do you know what
Yeah.
Jesuits are? See, I've always heard Jesuits. I didn't know what they were. I've always heard of them, and I assumed they were just some Jesus dudes or some shit like that.
What is it?
So
that I
they're,
don't know.
Okay.
they're
Here
the
we go.
original Men in Black, and the reason I say that is because they wear black cloaks. But so the
We
Jesuit.
have a lot of Jesuit priests in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Or in our diocese.
Well,
that we
they're
grew up in.
more than just priests.
Yeah, so the Jesuit movement was founded by Ignatius de Loyola.
This
right?
is
that how you
great.
say that,
De
Aaron?
La Jolla. I'm
Lo-
kidding.
Loyola?
I made that up.
Loyola Marymount, right? All the
Loyola.
Loyola. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a Spanish soldier turned priest. Now that should be remembered.
Well,
His
you got to have a second career. I mean,
go
you
from
retire as a priest, you got to be or a
Kicking
soldier, you gotta
ass.
be-
Yeah.
to praying. There you go.
Okay.
So himself and 6 of his students took vows of poverty, chastity, and made plans to work to convert Muslims.
And here
This
we
is back
go.
in the 1500s. You imagine how hard it would be to convert Muslims.
No. Oh my God.
How hard is it to convert them now?
So,
Yeah. But
and in September of 1540, Pope Paul III approved his outline for the Society of Jesus, as they called it. And that is when the Jesuit order was born. So the Jesuits ran charitable organizations such as ones for former prostitutes and ones that would convert Jews.
Yeah.
And when he died in 1556, there was more than 1,000 Jesuit priests. right?
Now here's what now did you get into this part
So
yet?
the Jesuit order played an important role in education, founding schools and colleges, intellectual research, cultural pursuits. But here's the real deal. Since he was a nobleman with a military background, the members of the society were supposed to accept orders anywhere in the world and would be required to live in extreme conditions. So they became to be known
sounds like
as
a priest.
God's soldiers,
Yeah.
God's Marines, or they called
they
them
were the military arm of the Vatican.
Mhm.
They were the Vatican's like fucking Green Berets.
Yeah.
You know, where like you have to send somebody in and shit's gonna get weird. You send the Jesuits in
Yeah.
to go and fucking crack skulls and hand out Bibles.
Yeah, they declared their basically that they would declare everything that they have to not just the church but was to the Pope. So their allegiance was strictly to the Pope.
Yeah,
So
not to
whatever
the
Pope said
Lord,
they did.
Yeah.
to the Pope.
Of course.
That sounds normal.
Well, I grew up Catholic, so yeah, It does sound normal, I guess. They were.
Isn't that weird that the Pope
There was a
is
hierarchy, and you went up the hierarchy, and they were like, he was like God,
Pope,
Jesus,
yeah.
and then Pope.
Pope
and
is
then-
like Tom from MySpace.
There you go.
And everybody
and
else
then
is
were
Tila
his
Tequila.
friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I respect
Some
that.
had more friends than others.
Yeah, that's true. That's
and, some had no friends at all.
true. Right.
In the middle of nowhere.
So
but
this
cracking
is-
heads, when you say cracking heads,
skulls.
I mean cracking skulls, excuse me. You mean manipulation.
That means
Because
going
that's
in.
most religions is manipulation.
Well, not only manipulation, but the actual like, if you don't play ball with us,
yeah, you'll burst into flames. I've been
we're
told
gonna
that since
fuck
birth.
you up. Which is like what the Dark Ages and the Spanish Inquisition was all
Yeah.
about. Either
Yeah.
you convert or you die.
Yeah. I guess
All religions are like that. I mean, look at what's
right,
going
that's
on
what I'm
in
saying.
Israel
In my
right
head,
now.
I'm thinking, wait, they're all like that. They want you on their side, so it's like this or nothing. You
yeah,
know?
or you die. Either you like
Yeah.
no longer claim your hood. So
So
like fuck you and the clique you claim, homeboy. You
Right.
come on our side.
So the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, aka the Jesuit Order, they were the archive for ancient esoteric traditions and occult-like practices. So they kept all the information and the knowledge of these old ways. So these threads converge and intertwine in the conspiracy circles to begin a framework for a covert organization of people with an agenda for global domination via subliminal societal enslavements. Because here's the deal. The Jesuits, they were not just they were God's Marines, is the way they're described.
Yeah, they're the
described
fucking military arm of this shit.
as the company. And so here's a quote from John Adams, one of our founders.
Navy SEALs of religion.
So he's like, and everyone's welcomed over America, all right? And then this is his quote: "Above all, I have learned from the Jesuits, and so did I am not happy about the rebirth of the Jesuits. Swarms of them will present themselves under more disguises ever taken by even as printers, writers, publishers, school teachers, etc. If ever association of people deserved eternal damnation on this earth and hell in its society of the Loyola." So they were like, dude, not in our country. Like, you guys already fucked up Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
So that was John Adams. But check this shit out.
Oh, here we go.
Little
Everybody's
guy-
favorite.
A little guy named Adolf Hitler.
Little dude,
Kyle.
little body.
"Above all, I have learned from the Jesuits, and so did Lenin, too, as far as I can recall. The world has never known anything so quite as splendid as the hierarchical structure of the Roman Catholic Church. There are quite a few things I simply appropriate from the Jesuits for the use in my Nazi party." So he's like, man, these guys are organized, dude. I
Sure.
like how they kick ass, you know?
Oh my.
He may have gone a little further. with
Well,
that.
I mean, then there's a whole discussion on who funded him when he discusses the god of war have swung to the other side. Who's exactly he's talking about? And we've had this discussion, and it's very funny when you bring this up to Jewish people because they fucking it is
Because you're saying the Jews funded him.
the not just the Jews, but I mean across the board. We're like the Rothschilds,
Right.
The Bushes. The Bushes are like fucking gangster. I mean, we know that, but it really is true. The Rothschilds. Now there's this fucking the Percivalli. I'm gonna get murdered by trying to pop, but there is a old Italian banking family who's now Muslim,
Whoa.
who say they make fucking the Rothschilds look like bookkeepers, you know. And I would try to pronounce the name, but I'm going to get murdered by everybody. But this whole group, including Rothschilds, basically created a way to categorize and keep booking on who's going into the concentration camps.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that last bit brought it. We started in the 1200s. We got up into, I believe, the 1500s, and now this is going to move us right into the 1700s, right around the birth of our nation. The true history of the Bavarian Illuminati is so clouded in mystery that it is almost impossible to decipher. Adam Weishaupt was born in 1748 in Eigelstadt, Bavaria. He was orphaned, young, and educated by the Jesuits. That's to be remembered. Before taking up a post in 1772 as
I like the
professor of
little
law
notes.
and University of Ingolstadt, Bavaria. So he was a law professor by 1772. All right.
He was the Tiffany Haddish of his generation.
He was the
Okay.
first non-priest
interesting
to
way to
hold that
put it.
position. All right.
He's on a Groupon.
Yeah.
And so he was the first non-priest to hold this position, which brought him into conflict with the university. In order to meet and share ideas with like-minded thinkers, he therefore resolved to form a society based on liberty and moral virtue. On May 1st, 1776, he founded the Illuminati. He adopted the name of Brother Spartacus within the order to be called.
Okay, so
1776.
so we've talked about this before, but I want to talk to you about
I
this.
see you pulling the dollar.
You know the
out.
dollar bill, Rob.
Mhm, dollar
How
bill,
all
yeah.
this is like Illuminati signs, and some guy just put out if you take all the writing down from one of the right over here, these numbers spell out 666. But anyway, these ones up here. You take these numbers out, they spell 666. So this is loaded with Illuminati symbols, right?
Okay.
So who, and this is conspiracy, and Aaron's going to kill us because we'll never be able to prove it either way. Who do you think that is on the front?
Is it somebody other than?
That's the argument. That's actually that guy.
It looks like somebody different. That doesn't look like him.
Well, if you're going to slip it in, are you going to make it look more like that or make it look like the guy you're telling everybody it is? Because if they run everything, do you know this is
He looks completely different. Like it's like not even like, oh, he's wearing
But have
makeup
you
and a
seen
better
actual
wig.
pictures of
That's a
George
completely different
Washington?
person.
Doesn't look like this guy either.
There are no pictures of George Washington.
Well, these drawings, like there's no
Cameras.
pictures of him. This is a drawing, right? Can
Well,
we agree on that?
he's like
Cameras
Jesus.
didn't exist.
Can we?
He's like Jesus because I don't know what he looks like, but there's drawings and all of them look similar to this, not that.
No,
So I don't.
the nose is much different.
So look into it.
The
Definitely
argument
look into
is
it, guys.
that
Alright,
he is on that because this is all Illuminati over here.
Okay.
That this
I
could
get
be
what you're
Illuminati
saying.
here,
Yeah.
and that this is the only dollar bill that has not been changed.
How do I get in the Illuminati? Is a
All right.
question I get.
You got to talk to
Here we go. I'll
Black
explain.
Manager Chris, the Black Manager. He's supposedly in the. He's was he?
I
in?
don't
He
have
said
the
he was
strength
in?
for you.
He's a Mason.
He's a Mason. He says he's in a Mason. And his girlfriend, Vanessa Johnson, she says that her grandpa was a level 33, and like Chris is like a level 2.
Well, neither one of them would agree with their relationship. So, on either side. So.
So, all right, Adam
don't buy it.
Weissenhop, his project of illumination, enlightening the understanding by the sun of reason, which will dispel the clouds of superstition and of prejudice. So that's a big flowery way of saying, I mean, we're coming in to the end of the era of Renaissance, the 1700s. People are like opening up to
The vice grip of religion is slowly
Yes.
starting to
Get a hold.
No, I think it's going the other way. Would you agree, or is it getting tighter?
So listen, this was his idea. And I mean, picture this being the 1700s, and this is your idea back in the day. With the goal of perfecting human nature through re-education to achieve communal state with nature, freed of government and organized religion. You can't be saying that back in the 1700s. You're saying, let's get back into nature. So
Yeah.
that's some hippie shit right there already.
Right.
Yeah.
No more government, man. That's some
Yeah,
hippie shit.
yeah.
And fuck, I don't think there's a God. I think I'm God. Like, that's hippie
Whoa.
shit. So, like,
And what is that very much like? Satanism. Satanism is like no rules. I'm my own God. I'm one with nature.
But to them, Satanism is anything that's against what they believe.
true. You can paint it.
Not to this guy Adam, but it's to the church.
Yeah. To the yeah.
If the Jesuits, if you don't roll with us, we crack your skull.
Right. That's
Right?
who I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
This is
butted
great.
heads with Jesuit priests of the university, and the priesthood waging war with him. They basically revoked his academic credentials and had him banished from the country. He moved to Germany, where he was better received and free to form the foundation of the Illuminati and its philosophy. His plan was to educate Illuminati followers in the highest levels of humanity and morality, so if Illuminati alumni attained positions of significance and power, they could exert a benevolent and uplifting influence upon society at large. His project was utopian and naively optimistic.
Yes.
So, I mean,
Oh.
think about it. His idea was to make the world a better place by raising people to be open-minded.
That seems like
The founder of the Illuminati.
most technology is like, we want to build this amazing thing like Facebook or
Yeah.
your iPhone. It's like, oh, dude, we can do this stuff. It's going to be easy to work. And then it's like something dark comes in
But
And
there's always something dark. I'm not racist. I'm just saying, like, there's always something dark. I'm kidding. Just got back. So, but there's always something dark. That
well,
comes
there's
in.
always
like,
going
there's
to
always
be
like, this is the way.
there's
And then
always
all of
going to be
a sudden there's
alphas.
like, no, this way.
Yep.
Yeah,
you know?
It's the balance.
it's always going to be some alpha who wants to exert
Yeah.
and like wants to be the top monkey, right?
Yeah, like last year, Brussels sprouts were the superfood. This year, it's kale, and next year it'll be just kill yourself.
Right,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what, but every year it changes something.
Right,
If
right.
you can't eat that, you're gonna
Right.
whatever. So I feel like this is the same shit. This is evolution.
Now, do you know how his death is very interesting. His death is how it leads
He
to
was pushed out a window.
how no. That's you've been watching Netflix.
Yes.
He was hit by lightning riding his horse. He got hit by lightning and died. When they came to investigate, they went through his stuff. They started reading all of his stuff, and he found out that he was creating a secret society. And instantly, the Illuminati, because that's what he called it, got banned from the country. And that's when they go underground.
His followers,
Yes.
if you will. Yeah.
They go underground. And then this great leader, this guy who had a vision, is gone. Who knows who takes over and what his vision is?
So it started out as a good thing, like all things do, right?
Like Google and Facebook and all
Right.
that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Everything starts out as
Yeah.
a good thing. Like even Catholicism. I remember Joe Rogan used to do a bit about Catholicism was created to calm down the wilder countries.
Right.
You know, the Irish, the Spanish. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the Latino. We're angry, crazy people, and it's like,
Right.
hey, if you don't calm down, you're gonna burst into flame.
You're not
doing
going to
it
get
wrong.
up here.
So like that was like, okay, let's just chill these people out.
Right.
And then other people were like, man, this is a better way to think, or, you know, hey, I'm pretty calm.
Yeah.
Fuck those animals.
Yeah.
Let's go over here.
Right.
You know? So I feel like there's always, you know, just things break off.
Right. For
Not-
sure.
not always a
Everything gets
conspiracy.
corrupted by money and power. There's
Yes.
not one
Yes.
thing
That
that
is a
ever gets
fact.
corrupted by money and power. And when
That is a
somebody,
fact.
well, there will always be a struggle for more power, more corruption, more everything.
Yeah.
And that's where everything, you know, it's like Bill Burr's bit about, you know, why do you listen to a priest? He's a human being.
Absolutely.
You know, he fucking jerks off. He takes shits.
Yep.
He does. Why are you listening to him when he's talking about this whole stuff? So it's like the application of these ideas.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to like
Ideas.
religion isn't a problem. It's the people who apply it.
Yep.
That's my thing about government. It's not
Yeah,
the
you're right.
government's a problem. It's it's the people who apply it and use it for not good. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Okay, so this is going to be great. You're going to love
I'm
this.
nervous with that
This
picture.
is where you're going to get nervous. This is where you're going to get nervous.
Hold on. Let me
Now,
pull
hold on.
my anal beads out.
I
further.
want to. Can I talk about Friday 13th real quick? 2 seconds.
I mean, yeah, but you're gonna go. It's not. Go for it.
Is
But
it out
It's
of
another
order of what
episode.
you-
It's a whole another episode.
Yeah, it is another episode. But do you know why Friday the 13th is Friday the 13th?
'Cause it was a good movie.
No.
Oh.
Friday the 13th. Well, the first technically international bankers were the Knights Templar, which would basically be you were in London and you're going to Paris,
Okay.
right? You would give them your gold. Hey, here's my gold. I need it in Paris. Then you would show up to Paris, and they would have somebody there that would hand you that amount of gold. All right? So they were getting super duper powerful because they had all the gold.
Yeah.
And then the Pope got pissed. And on Friday the 13th, he put out basically a thing that said, kill all the Knights of Templar. And the Jesuits went to kill all the Knights of Templar. And it happened on Friday 13th, and that's why Friday 13th is this day of darkness, because they went to kill all the Knights Templar. And they went and they basically got into, did they go to Ireland or Scotland?
So yeah. So then supposedly 13 ships with most of the gold on it. They all left the Mediterranean and went up to Scotland, where they started the Masonic Scottish Rite.
Yes.
So the Knights Templar turns into the Scottish Rite, which we'll do an episode on.
Yes.
100% and break that one
Wow.
down because
It's now is the 13th considered bad luck? Like, does that come all from that?
Yeah.
Like, because I was dating a guy and he was like, oh, you have the number 13 in your address and your phone number. We can't date.
Oh,
Like, yeah, but
that sounds like you
That's
were
interesting.
really into gutter dick.
what's Aaron saying there?
what is that?
I turned 13 on Friday the 13th.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Did you get a mask, like a Jason mask?
No.
Just kidding.
God.
Any
those are
gold?
good
Did you
days.
get any gold?
No.
Oh, dang.
So here's
All right,
where
here
it
it
gets
goes.
interesting.
Did you get robbed?
Because we're gonna
No.
come to
Okay.
modern day Roman
we've
Catholic.
been moving up. So
Modern day. Here I
since the
am.
founding of the Jesuit order almost 500 years ago, there have been rumors that the Jesuit general, also known as the Black Pope, has been the ultimate man behind the curtain, pulling all the strings. The Pope takes his marching orders from the Black Pope.
Have you heard of
As the-
Black Pope?
Yes.
So he's
Because I told you
Yes.
that, right?
Well, yeah, and you sent me a
It's-
video. Right. But I've seen it. I just never, it didn't dawn on me. But, my mom makes me watch when the Pope, he ruined my draw in Jersey
Oh, were you
last
there
year.
that day?
Yeah, when he went to
How about
Philadelphia.
Jim Gaffigan opening for the Pope
I
and getting
know.
booed and getting booed? First, Marky Mark goes up. Hey, just want to apologize for all the weird stuff, all the movies I put out, and all the music, and me hanging out in my underwear. I just want to say I'm sorry.
I'm a big Catholic?
Yeah,
No, you're not.
yeah.
You're a
And also
moron.
blinding an Asian man.
Blinding, and nobody talks about that.
Why do we pick up on people's teenage years? If you dragged my teenage years out, you wouldn't let me in this room.
Right.
Yeah.
I
so
would.
Let it
There's
go.
nothing you could do that would turn me off of how cool you are. Go on. So Black Pope.
Yeah, so the Pope takes his marching orders from the Black Pope, as the Jesuits are also the leaders of the New World Order, supposedly people think, with the task of infiltrating other religions and governments in order to bring apart a one-world fascist government. So the true purpose of the Jesuit order is to orchestrate and control all leaders of the world in order to bring about a major worldwide effect which would eventually destroy America, the Middle East, and Israel. So they destroy everything from within and want to bring the destruction of the Catholic Church as well in order to usher in a one-world religion based on some sort of darkness, it appears. So when people hear these things, they want to see physical evidence for stuff. Well, this building doesn't help.
Does not help.
Why?
So I'll show you a picture here in just
Oh.
a moment.
So they built a brand new, basically an auditorium, a
Oh.
giant theater.
Known as the Hall of the Pontifical Audiences, a building in Rome named for Pope Paul VI, is a seating capacity of 6,300 and contains a bronze statue called the Resurrection. It was completed in 1971, and it's made. This whole building is made of just reinforced concrete. So let me go ahead. For those at home that can't see it,
Wow.
this is what it looks like when you look.
And you know what he's sitting on right there? Do you know what that's called?
Throne.
The throne of what?
Lies.
What's
Oh.
it called?
I don't remember.
It's
My
it's
mom.
hard to.
I would get hit for this, not knowing, by the way.
It's been called the throne of Lucifer.
That's what that throne is known as. The throne
Whether
of
or not-
Lucifer.
It's hard
Uh,
to tell whether or not that's 100%.
Wait, but not
but look how
by
creepy.
us. Like they call it something else. Like, is that what conspiracists call it, or is that what?
That's what's supposedly the name of it.
So that's
But
when you're looking at stage. This is him in the center, that real creepy resurrection.
look at that up there.
bronze
What does that
statue.
look like, that dude?
terrifying.
What does that dude look like up there? What does he look like? A
Ryan?
fucking lizard person.
No, it looks like Ryan.
The guy up there looks like Ryan.
His hair swinging.
Look at this.
He's just doing the dance, dancing amigos. Come on.
Come on, get closer. Get closer
No,
to
it
that.
looks terrifying. Like, I would not sit in front of that and think I'm doing something good.
Are you telling me you don't think that looks like a lizard head?
And so now when
I
you look,
see a man. I see a person or whatever.
now this is looking at the stage.
What does that
It's a
look
beautiful
like?
theater. I'd love to work there.
Two eyes.
You want to do your set there?
Could I do my
who books that?
special from there?
Who books?
If I did my special from there, you would just see the fire
That's
start
actually
on
in
the
the
sides.
Tribble Run. They say that's
yeah,
in the Tribble Run.
run. That's perfect.
What does that look like to you, dude? What does that look like to you, Eleanor?
Special vagina. I don't know.
You
It's
just
with the
don't want to
eyes.
minute.
I see it with the eyes on the side of lizard person.
No, what's those down there? Those look like fucking fangs.
Hold on. Where's the fangs?
Where's the fang down there? Look at the throne.
So it's
What's
the
on the
mouth.
two sides of it?
Eyes.
I see this and the
Yeah.
eyes.
You don't see. Hold on.
Oh, these right there.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Okay, sometimes it takes me a minute, man.
Okay.
That's what it looks
Nobody
like when
called
he's
me
looking
smart.
Yeah.
out. So
My mom went to church in the Vatican. She
Do you have pictures of the outside?
no, but I can find them for you.
Yeah.
She
Go
said it
on the
was
outside.
the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen. And then I took her to church in Vegas, and she said that was the best sermon I've ever had, even better than the Vatican.
Oh, really?
One of the greatest things, like you said, Jim Gaffigan got booed, and when he did that opening for the Pope. On a smaller scale, on Sunday morning, my mom made me go to church after the
Right,
rosary bead
right.
joke, and we're sitting there, and one of the altar boys had on a Patriots shirt under his, I forgot the word for
In
it.
Philly?
Oops, yeah, in South Philly.
What are you nuts?
A mile away from the stadium, And the priest said, we have a brave young man
Yeah.
amongst us. And he made him stand up, and he brought him to the front, and he goes under his, I forgot the word. What is that called? Your
Frock?
Yeah.
frock? Is that right? I forget. I wasn't an altar boy. They wouldn't let me. I could never do
I'm sure you
anything they
tried.
could do. I have a bigger penis than all of them.
I'm sure you
Fuck
tried.
So I did. And so he showed his Patriot jersey, and the entire place, with the exception of that little boy's mother, booed him.
Good.
in church. I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
She probably booed
But
under her
during
breath.
the NFC Championship, there was a lot of Vikings fans sitting in the front with their gear on, in my in the church that my mom goes to.
And
Isn't
was
that
she
weird?
cool with that?
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, they're brave, huh, honey?" My mom's gonna be 80. She's not fighting anymore. Can you imagine she carries a wooden spoon in her pocket?
So, can you find pictures of the outside real
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah, I'll find.
Snakehead Theater. Snakehead Theater.
It does. The eyes, that does look weird. This whole,
It looks like a snake. Am I right?
yeah, and it's actually ugly. I mean, I hate to be a dick, but
You're not being a dick.
who did that?
Well, it doesn't end there. So evil fucking nerds. The Vatican built and operates the state-of-the-art observatory on Mount Graham in southwestern Arizona, operated by Jesuits. The Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope, as it's called. The institute installed this long-slit infrared spectroscope, and it's known for its large binocular telescope, near-infrared spectroscope, utility with camera, integrated field unit, extragalactic research, or as they call it, Lucifer.
You gotta be kidding me, dude. Look at that. And then look at the head shake.
There's a million words that get skipped to make Lucifer come out of that. I mean, I will grant you,
What?
it is wordy as fuck.
It is very
But
wordy.
there's a
Well, if
ton
you
of
were
words
going to
skipped.
make it, so hold on. First of all, that's what they call it, not what he calls it.
Right,
That's
it
what
is
they
their
refer
words,
to
it's
it.
not his.
It's not
I
our
agree
word.
with
We're not like, oh, dude, look at this. That is literally what they call that scope, Aaron.
I know.
Why are you
And
yelling
it
at
is
him?
it is
Oh.
Because he's
strange
fighting me
to
on this shit.
skip
Well, he's just
4 words to get to from L
Hold
to
on.
U.
Hold on. But we
4
did not
words.
do that.
I know you didn't.
The people
I'm
who put
saying
it
to
together, that's what they call it.
Extrapolate that from there is odd.
You know what it's like? It's like a word puzzle. Find the words in there. And
Yeah.
then, you know, it's like they got to add some stuff so it's not, they can't just call, hey, dude, this is owned by the Catholic
It's
Church,
your-
and here's our fucking Lucifer lens.
it's their perception. That's how they're seeing
It's not
it.
their perceptions. It's their literal name they call it. Do you understand what
That's
I'm
gross.
saying?
Yeah, I believe you. I'm just saying.
It's not what he calls it. It's
No,
not
no,
like
I
the
know.
fucking lion calls it that.
He got it from somewhere.
And
Evil
then
nerds.
they changed it to Lucy. They're like, okay, this is not Lucifer. That was a joke. Ha ha ha. People from San Diego who love the St. Louis Cardinals get a little offended, so we're just going to call it Lucy.
Lucy 1, Lucy 2.
Lucy
So
won.
the fact remains, though, through the links reveal that the Illuminati was a group subtly by the Catholic Church to stave off dissidents within Europeans' privileged and influential society. Whether the Illuminati is real or still active today is up for debate.
It's 100% real.
You think so?
It's 100% real.
You think they're
I don't know if
plotting
it's
diabolical
necessarily-
schemes and everything?
I don't know if it's necessarily just Catholics, but the notion of a deep state is beyond real. I mean, look what's going on right now with Donald Trump, and everybody can hate Trump, and I don't like any president.
Same.
So if you don't think what's going on with this this whole memo and what was going on, they literally, when they lost the presidency, they owed people money, like a lot of money.
Yeah.
That foundation took in a ton of cash with the dude. We're gonna destroy Trump. You want some privilege? You want contracts? You want this? You want that?
Yeah.
Come to Mama. Pay Mama. So
Yeah.
they paid Mama a lot of money, and then Mama
I don't like
lost.
Mama. Yeah.
Mama's
I'm never
bad.
calling her Mama. I don't like the whole family. I don't like the. I don't like any political. I
mean-
think they all turn at some point. They turn. Even their beloved Obama, they turn.
Oh, there's more
he's-
stuff about Obama.
Oh,
You got to
fuck yeah.
understand something about these people.
I'm not saying he's not a nice man. Sure, he's fun. He's likable. Great. But, you know.
There's this recording that they said was made 50 years ago. It could easily be made yesterday. But it breaks down to like these people, it's a long game.
Yeah.
And it's not even like whether it happens in their lifetime. They don't care if it happens in their lifetime. They want it to happen.
Yeah.
And there's arguments that Obama is like, they've been watching that dude since he was born.
Yeah.
And the reason it is because his mother was a CIA operative. And she went in to go find this dude who was into communism and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, now you go, oh, dude, well, they watch him his whole life. Dude, there's guys out there, and I've said this before on the show. There are guys out there whose job it is to find the best fourth grade basketball player in the country.
Absolutely.
And they study
Absolutely.
everybody who plays. So if there's a guy who does that for basketball just for fun, imagine who.
It's a billion-dollar industry, so it's not just for fun.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
somebody pays him, but
Yeah.
but we're talking trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
So, I mean, $1 billion is a tip to these people.
Yeah.
This is trillions of dollars. And now the CIA. Oh, by the way, you forgot the one thing about the Jesuits and what are they called?
They're called the company,
They're called the company.
and they're all about intelligence.
And who else calls the company? Who else is called the company?
The CIA.
Yes. In my head, I'm like, I know the company, but my
It's
brain
the
isn't.
CIA. And what do we hear now that the CIA's do? The CIA is so crazy, they're infiltrating the FBI now. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're kind of fighting. They're sending,
Everybody has secrets, if
how
you will.
crazy is
There's
that?
a blinded Asian man because of a celebrity. There's fucking crazy. Now, do you think Trump is gonna knock some shit loose by accident? Do you
Well-
think? Because I'm never gonna say he's a smart man. I've met him a few times. He's not a.
Oh, you have?
Oh, he's a jackal. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying. I would never say that Trump's
Dice
a
was
good
on
guy.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I would never say that Trump. I would never say anybody who gets into that office is a good person.
Yeah.
I think you have to sell that
I
soul.
mean, he's a front runner.
But what I think is going on here, you're asking me.
Yeah.
Because I've said this before. I say this all the time. But if you look at Trump's campaign and presidency, it's so much like Bill Clinton's in that
Oh yeah.
they came out of nowhere. Nobody expected them to win. They beat a very established candidate with the help of a third party. They get in the office, and then everything is investigation. So while everyone's paying attention to the investigations, he's doing all this deregulating this, deregulating that, deregulating this, which is what the Clintons did, okay? Now, if you really want to hate
So it's the
Trump,
same shit. Is what? It's like part of me was like, maybe there's that little inch
but
of.
let me tell you why that part is probably a little true.
Okay, I hope so. Kind of.
I didn't like Bill Clinton's reality show either.
Yeah.
Before he was president.
Well, you know, he was
Well,
a
dude,
co-
because Trump's a slumlord. That's
Okay.
exactly what he is.
Listen,
There's
I love
nothing
Coke
more.
dealers. Okay, I'm a big fan of them and everything they do. But most of the Coke that fueled the whole crack epidemic didn't come through Florida.
Right.
That was where'd it come through?
Oh my God, it just went out of my head.
Arkansas.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was a
That's
governor.
right.
He played ball, and that's where they realized, oh, this guy will play ball. He's a Rhodes Scholar, right?
Yeah.
That's just a way to play that you're playing ball, that you're committed. You basically basically when you're a Rhodes Scholar, you have to commit to that you will be behind a new world order. That's kind of what the agreement is.
Of course.
So what I think is going on is that Trump could be, in on the whole thing, but he's going after these people because they went after him.
Yeah, I
But-
hate it all so much that I hope he fucked it up and it just all falls
It is
down.
entrapment what they did to him.
Yeah.
They based the DOJ, the Department of Defense of Justice, basically gave this Russian lawyer who's everything ever gave her a visa to come into the country. She initiated contact with Donald Jr. That's what the meeting was about. Okay?
Yeah.
The actual meeting between Trump's people, why does Flynn go talk to the Russians? Because Kushner, which is his daughter's husband,
Right.
is in big
The good Jew.
when you want to hear about it.
kidding.
No,
This makes me
totally.
laugh.
Go for it.
Yeah.
He's in big money to the Rothschilds and a lot of investors out of Israel. He tells Flynn to go talk to the Russians because an initiative or something was going up, a UN vote was coming up to condemn Israel for land grabbing from the Palestinians, and they were trying to get the Russians not to vote against them. So all the things that you can really hate Trump for, you'll never hear on mainstream media because the people who signed Rachel Meadow's checks, Wolf Blitzer's check, and Sean Hannity's check, okay, all benefit from all the shady shit that Trump is doing. So the only thing they can go off on is this Russian collusion shit, which isn't real. It was made by a dossier by a guy named Steele, who was an MI6 guy, a retired guy who played ball, who made up stories, probably over his years of spying. You go, oh, that's a good story. Oh, they peed on the bed. They got hookers to pee on the bed. Made all this
That
stuff.
one, I believe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been peed on. It's not that bad.
Same. I've been the peer.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
But now it's everybody's favorite time.
What's that mean?
Here we go.
Aaron.
Don't be an idiot.
Hey, Ron. Well, you better be sick, dead, or mute. Ron. You done messed up, Ron.
You filthy animal.
Aaron, thoughts? We're going to get this sponsored by somebody.
Hey, Ron.
I don't know, man. It's just a lot. You're just beating me down at a certain point. You're just beating me down with volume.
And tenacity. There's a lot of tenacity.
What I will tell you is what I told everybody on that NASA post I put. Everything is researchable. Everything that is said on this show, and we will tell you whether you can or cannot prove it, but everything is researchable.
But here's my thing. You say everything's researchable, but some of this stuff is even made up. Wikipedias, things like that, they make them up too. So who do we know? How do we know who's real and what's not?
Well, what I do, is I study history. History up into this very moment that you and I are talking.
Okay.
And then I apply the knowledge that I've learned from history to whether this makes sense. Whether the history up to this moment, that what whoever's talking about would fit the patterns of that. And then based upon that, I go, oh, that makes sense, or that could never happen because it doesn't fit the pattern of history. That's how you do it. You just have to do work. But the key has been, what they've done forever is stretch you out so thin, so busy, you don't have time to research.
Okay.
Aaron, go on.
Is that your thought, Aaron? I'm sorry. Did I take over your moment? I apologize.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
on your side, buddy.
So, do you study history at UNLV or
Oh.
student of
Aaron,
history? Well, how many books are you reading?
I read
history?
tons of books. And the blessing of my life, Aaron, is that I do 2 podcasts, and that's how I make my cash. And I have a lot of downtime.
I'm there for both of them.
Okay? I have a lot of downtime, so I can go, I can research, I can do that. I'm actually thinking about going back to school, doing the internet college to study history. I've been thinking about that because I have downtime.
Why not?
I just don't want to take the test.
I thought you were
I
going
just
to
wanna
say
hear-
Down syndrome.
Yeah,
Right.
because I don't have that Down syndrome. I just don't have it.
So yeah, where's your guys' dates at, man? Where can we find
Tonight,
anything?
this was a great episode, dude.
This is exciting. I mean, you guys have had some great ones. I listened to Butcheroni because we grew up together,
Oh,
same
really?
neighborhood, South Philly. I like that you were all over him about Mayor Rendell.
Yeah.
Because I got to roast him, and I brought all that shit up.
Oh, really? When did you roast him?
About 2 years ago, I did a roast in Philadelphia. I work with these sports radio guys, and he wasn't the main person we were roasting, but it was these 2 sports guys, Angelo Cataldi and Howard Eskin, that are big Philadelphia sports guys.
And you do their show still?
I do their show. I do Angelo's 94 YSP all the time when I'm in Philly. So, I just go on, we talk shit, sports, whatever. And anyway, so I roast them, and he was just on the dais.
Oh,
And my mom, I go, Ma, Rendell's there. And she's like, oh, let me tell you some stories, honey. And I was like, oh, shit. So I
You
didn't
think
even
he's
Google
into that
it.
stuff?
Oh, yeah, he's a nut. He's a mess.
No,
he's
but-
a mess.
But according to
Bucciaroni?
Bucciaroni, he's into dark shit.
I believe it.
And
I
like-
believe it. He got so mad at me, and my mom said, he's going to hit on you. And at the minute I got there, he was like, oh, you look like a tall glass of water. I go, oh, somebody's parched.
Yeah.
You know? He was just elderly, pumpkin. Let me walk you where you need to be. And then when I went on stage, his fucking face dropped. He was like, oh, shit.
This bitch is for real.
Yeah, so I just ripped into him, and oh my God, it got nearly a standing ovation because everyone knows they just have to deal with him.
You're the best. I love you.
Where can everyone find you?
So hold on real quick before we get into
In
that.
Ed Rendell's
Was
basement.
this
Kidding,
bad?
I'm
Was
too old.
it this bad?
What?
Was it that bad to come on the show? People are afraid to come on the show.
Why? This is great.
Because they're just like,
Probably because they feel like they don't have a lot of knowledge, which is what I was feeling driving over here. Like, oh, really? I'm not really smart. I don't read into certain things. I mean,
Right.
I know what I know, but I don't,
right.
you know.
Right.
So I was like, the whatever. So I got a little nervous, but I was like, no, you just go with it. It was fun.
I love
Plus,
it.
I'm learning. You're teaching me. I'm like, okay. What are
love it.
crimpets? I know what crimpets are. I mean, these are the things I know.
So here are my dates real quick. This Friday, I will be at the Dirty at 12:30 in Las Vegas. February 13th, we have another Comedy Chaos, and that's it's almost sold out already. Boom. February 22nd is okay. So then at the end of the month, I am going to be in Las Vegas. February 22nd, we have the Naughty Show. Penthouse presents the Naughty Show at the LA Comedy Club. And then February 23rd and 24th, it is Tinfoil Hat Comedy Night at the LA Comedy Club in the Stratosphere at Las Vegas. Tickets are now for sale. Eddie Bravo, myself, Spin Truth, Reptilians, shape-shifting lizard people.
I want to be a shapeshifter.
Oh, I'd love that. And everything. It's going to be a great show. 2 shows. 1 show Friday, 1 show Saturday, 11:30. Go to thelacomedyclub.com. Grab those tickets now. And can you read one 5-star review? Can you pull them up real quick?
Who's got a 5-star review? For you?
Well, you guys should do that on your show. You should go on and you read
We tell people to...
do you ever read them?
Oh, if I knew how to get to them, honey, I'd probably
You go
be more
to
successful
what kind
at
of
this.
you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a Mac computer?
Yes.
You go on there, go to the Apple Store, go to iTunes,
Mm-hmm.
put in your name of your thing in the search, and then you just go to reviews. And you hit the most recent, and you could read them, and people will give you 5-star reviews. Get read on the thing. We just do 5 stars though.
Oh, it has to be 5 stars?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't read the bad ones? Because Rick and I kind of like when people
I
are
don't mind the
nasty,
bad
too.
ones, but I'm not. No, because you want the reason. Once we get to 1,000, you hit recent, not most helpful.
Do you put people on timeout if they give you a bad one?
No. Go up, over the other way, other side. There you go. Click most recent. There we go. Read like 3 of them.
Most critical was a fun category.
Yeah.
All right, 5-star review. Loved it. You are great, and your show is my guilty pleasure. That being said, any Team Aaron shirts to come? Also, did Ellis and Tully, any chance you will do MSPH with Kevin or a swap cast with Boyce?
I don't even know what that means, but I'm always open to it. Jump down to the next one's 5-star review. Tommy Goga or True Ronin Podcast Truth. The next one's my favorite because they just lay into my illiteracy.
5 stars. They're spitting out truth here, dog. Sometimes Tripoli calls things DYI instead of DIY, but his enthusiasm and his Ronin mentality more than make up for it. Ryan brings on the coolest guests and keeps his cool in a way that Sam wish he could. Aaron remains slept, but one day he'll come around. Praise Jesus. Hail Satan.
Yeah. Oh, go to Wheeler AZ, and this is the last one.
All right, 5-star review. Great show, Wheeler AZ. It's amazing how a man who flunked first grade and can't say anyone's name has so much information about these topics. I get a lot of information from the guests also, even though Sam continually talks over them. Love the show. Yeah, that's
It's like a bipolar review. I
love
that.
you guys so much. Listen, I do hear your constructive criticism about the last show that I went to Monkey on the last one with Jessime Peluso. I respect that. I will always keep that in mind. We want to, guys, go check out the Patreon. And guys, if you have any insight, just let us know. I know you guys want longer shows, but we only had the studio for so long. And trust me, we got a couple things brewing that maybe down the line we'll be able to extend it. Your interactiveness is great. Did you do your any
Instagram,
gigs
Twitter.
coming up?
Instagram. Eleanor Kerrigan. I think find me. Whatever.
No. Spell because it's not Eleanor Kerrigan. It's
what is it?
EJ
EJ Kerrigan.
Yeah,
Thank you,
EJ
whoever said
Kerrigan.
that.
Kerrigan.
RRIGAN. And then Thursday night, the 8th, I'm going to be on that Chips and Giggles in the Queen Mary in Long Beach. And then Friday at the Long Beach Laugh Factory. Also, the Comedy Store, but check their website.
You'll probably get 30 sets
tomorrow.
at the Comedy Store.
If every woman is out of town, this vagina's in. So, but at the end of the month, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, I'm doing dates with Dice Clay, Andrew Dice Clay.
In Vegas?
No, in what's that? I can't. The Agora Hills.
Okay.
It's the Canyon Club. Oh my
God.
God.
I love the Canyon
on
Club.
On the 23rd, and then the 24th is the Rose in Pasadena, and then the 25th is another Canyon Club, but not in Agora Hills, somewhere else.
Another Canyon Club. So many Canyon Clubs.
If you look it up, it'll be a fun weekend.
Guys, give us those 5-star reviews. Support the show. Check out the Patreon. We're putting up at least one. We were supposed to do DMT with 2 Max. And it didn't happen. I can't believe a rapper didn't show up. We're going to get that going. You guys are the best. We love you very much. Thanks for your support, and we'll just keep rocking.